From the center of the galaxy, this is ForceCenter Live. ForceCenter now on a Friday. I'm Ken Knapsack.
I'm Joseph Scrimshaw. And our distraction tradition of being distracted on Friday continues. An email came in just as I was supposed to say my name. I'm Joseph Scrimshaw, and this is my beer. Thank you for being here.
I'm Ken Knapsack. This is my water. As always, Jennifer Landis sends her Friday regards. Welcome to the show in which we will take your calls. That's right. This is a Force Center call-in show. We like calling it Force Center now. Maybe Force Center U. I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're Force Center. We're here live on a Friday. We got a lot of our friends in chat. James Holmes, David Mackay, Channel 19, checking in. Matthew Stokes. A lot of UKers. I like our 2 p.m. Pacific start time is good for UKers in the evening, Joseph.
Mm-hmm. I like Force Center now. I don't think that we have to change it because of MS now, which I think is very unfortunate given that MS means many things.
Yes.
A state abbreviation, and many other things. But if we want to do a different branding, maybe it could be called, instead of Force Center now, Force Center 2 to 3 minutes late, because that's generally when we start.
Generally, when we start, we usually stumble into our own home here. Earlier this week, we had a Star Wars ranked in which you and I, Joseph, ranked our favorite moments from The Force Awakens now, meaning we were looking back, part of the 10-year celebration. And we thought, well, that's a good idea. Let's continue that trend with a look at The Force Awakens 10 years on with our audience calling in to share their things here. But as always, if you got a question about something else, there's a bit of Star Wars news that popped up today. We'll talk in more detail Monday, that about the Star Wars 77, which I know I'm going to get even more comments on a video I did the other day in which I basically said, stop saying Die Hard is a Christmas movie or not. The argument is dumb and old. And that includes saying, in my day, it was called Star Wars. Those people are going to crawl out of the woodwork a little bit more this weekend. And I'm not looking forward to that.
I understand. Well, I like that in the press release, they make a distinction that,
yes,
hey, and let's define language. And, when we say A New Hope, then people can understand us to mean from, whatever year it was on that A New Hope was added, 80. And if we say Star Wars, then we mean we're talking specifically about the pre-release. Svetnik 1138 says, wait, what did I miss? What's Star Wars 77? I don't know if Svetnik is joking or not, but yes, they did confirm that the re-release that Lucasfilm is doing in February of 2027 for the 50th anniversary of the film Star Wars, later called Star Wars A New Hope, will actually be a remastered version of the 77 release, which there's great deep dives you can go on of like, he was tinkering right away. So like opening weekend in this specific city.
Yes.
Which version? Yes. Yeah, this is. But I'm so excited as a fan, and then very excited to talk about the sort of the complex ramifications of people's reaction to it. And be particularly interested over talking about it, and when it comes out, to hear the reactions of people who grew up with the special edition. And just like I didn't ever have any time where it wasn't the special edition. That's what my parents showed me on DVD or on my iPad or whatever. And how they react to it is going to be interesting to me, because that's something I haven't heard 10,000 million times for decades from people my same age.
Yeah. It's gonna. I think we'll talk more Monday, but I think there's gonna be some folks being like, "Huh, that's it, huh? Okay." And it's gonna be interesting. Well,
he's not joking. Great.
He's not joking.
And I'm excited to have shared this exciting news, Svetnik.
Love that. We'll be talking about it on the news show, but the news show will not be live Monday. We'll release that Tuesday, probably to catch up to the news as much as possible. But Monday, 12 p.m. Pacific time here, our normal live time slot, it is going to be me, you, Jennifer, and Alex and Molly Damon of Star Wars Explained, as we are going to celebrate 10 years of doing this, talking Star Wars and being in the Star Wars space and looking back. Going to be a fun conversation. So tune in Monday here. We're trying to see if we can do the co-stream thing. We're trying to work out the technical side of that, but StreamYard has added a lot of bells and whistles we don't need and seems to have removed the one in which we can co-stream. But that's coming Monday.
Very, very excited for it. Coming up with some questions. We'll talk about some of the obvious stuff of looking back, but trying to come up with some fun stuff as well. And then, of course, getting questions from everybody in the chat.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to take calls here. We got some calls lined up. Maddie, Adam, Eli, Brennan. We got, Ilka checking in as well. That is going to be fun. A first-time call coming in here. We do have our buddy Mark checking in saying, unfortunately, I can't stay, but one of my favorite The Force Awakens moments is the reunion of Finn and Poe on Dakar. I love their dynamic, including the famous lip bite. 10 years on, Joseph, I think that lip bite still stands up.
Oh, my gosh, yes. The lip bite is fantastic, and I think it is... it's also very symbolic of the era that the film came out in, the era of GIFs. Where I think it certainly would have been celebrated, but the fact that you can see it in glorious slow-mo GIF form only makes that, totally random, natural acting choice. And I don't think J.J. Abrams was like, and then bite your lip. Yeah. I don't think Oscar Isaac did it in every take. I think, J.J. Abrams, editor, Marianne, I'm forgetting her last name, was like, I'm keeping the lip bite. That's my headcanon.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I'd love to see the other takes where it's just like a or a but Oscar being Oscar finds the charisma and finds the lip bite there.
I want to throw this up real quick before we move on, Ken, from Jocelyn, talking about the Star Wars re-release of the original 77 version. Jocelyn says, regardless of whatever versions anyone prefers, it's important to preserve art and not prevent people from accessing the films they grew up with. I think I very, very deeply agree with the preserving art, and I have always been on the side of I think it's fine for Lucas to do new versions, but have always hoped that he or whoever legally has the power would keep the other versions available for the sake of history and posterity. So wanted to be clear that I agreed with that. I have taken a lot of hit point damage over the years from the discussions from a gentleman my age about the special edition stuff. So I am a little sensitive. So I need to be clear and careful. I have taken personal damage from very opinionated men telling me exactly what I should think.
Yeah, I mean, I've keep sharing, but I actually have affected friendships recently over my arguments with those who think the special editions aren't worthy, and I think they're living in a lost era that didn't actually exist. Because George, like you said, started tinkering the first weekend. It's never been what you thought it was. But I also, with the bigger picture, I agree with that as well. But yeah, it's hard sometimes to pull apart the arguments from real life. Which is part of the 10-year journey that we're going to talk about with Alex Amali. We're going to talk about fun stuff. But it definitely bleeds in.
Yeah, and I'm very excited about this in the conversation. We'll talk about it more on the news show, though. We'll let it go and get back to the stated topic of Force Awakens memories.
Absolutely. All right. We'll take some calls here. As always here, as I like to say, if you're going to call in, think of this as a radio show. Have your question ready to go. Okay. Caller, what's your question? That's a good thing. But also, if your camera is on in the queue and I can see your face, that means you're accepting that your camera ready, and we'll show your face here on the show, which has been a fun thing to do here. But if you're not in a position, or Detective McCarcel, if you're driving your car, just wait, pull over. We'll take the call when you're safe. Let's do it. So here we go. I think our first one is actually going to be an audio version here. So I'll get the audio set up here as we got our buddy Matty checking in. It's getting towards 10 p.m. and he's a rocker, so that's close to bedtime. Matty, how you doing, buddy?
You're actually not wrong, because I've got to get my full 8 hours sleep. I've got 3 shows back to back coming up. So, I've got to get my 8 hours sleep in. But
sip that tea, man. Rest your voice. But first, ask a question.
How are you guys? First,
not needed. I don't have the hour to explain why I stress called all morning. Why I stress cried all morning.
Well, you know what, Maddie, I will say this. You were in one of my dreams this week. And you were very helpful. It was great. I was going somewhere to buy something, but it was a dream I've had many, many times where I had a show, but nobody told me. And you were there and like, dude, you're supposed to be doing a show, but I've got everything handled backstage. Let me help you out. It was a real nice appearance in my dream, Maddie. So thank you.
Well, if you ever need someone to do like the audio side of things or anything like that, I'm happy to help.
Excellent.
There you go. There you go. What is your question, buddy? What's well, not your question. I keep saying question. What is your favorite moment from The Force Awakens 10 years on?
My favorite moment from The Force Awakens answered a question to many people of, does Harrison Ford know how to do comedy? And it's the moment with the I forget what they're called, the Squid Game Death Gang and the Contra Club.
Contra Club. Yes. Just the whole sequence?
Yeah, the whole sequence, just like the back and forth between the three of them, where he's like, oh, I didn't make a deal with them. Tell that to Contra Club. And then he come through the door and he's just like the look of, oh, crap.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The counting of how many times he has or has not swindled them.
Yeah,
yes, I do.
The second one.
Yeah. No, I agree that. I mean, we talked even in our episode this week. ForceCenter is pretty. ForceCenter. That's the show we're on. I told you it's been a day. It's been quite a day. The Force Awakens is really, really funny. I think The Last Jedi is funny. I think Rise of Skywalker is some of the best comedy with 3PO. But much like Empire Strikes Back, it's right there punching its weight comedically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he is fantastic. I think throughout the film, lots of great comedy lines. But that's such a great, total comedy as meaning. It shows us where Han is in life, and I love the exposition of like, you swindled everybody. Everybody knows your game.
Yeah, I mean, he even says right there, there's no one left in the galaxy for you to swindle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
like, Han, you're caught. Give it up.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, Maddie. I love that tire sequence. Even though historically I've mentioned the Wrath Towers being some of my least favorite things about it, and that the fire I've had for that argument is long burned out. What remains is some really great Han stuff and Chewie stuff, and the entire sequence is just fun. But I think it established, and Harrison Ford doesn't need our approval, and Harrison Ford's only going to come back if he wants to come back. But just sit there in the moment and be like, oh yeah, he's back, man. He came to play. Like, that was big for me.
Mm-hmm.
If anything, we need Harrison Ford's approval.
Yeah, that's true.
I need him to show up in my dreams. Hang out with us, Maddie.
Absolutely. And some people in chat are mentioning Balatik, which was known back in the day, Scottish Mark Ellis. I wish, maybe I'll see if Mark's free. I'd love him to come on for a 10-minute segment on Monday's live stream to explain how much he just hated that 10 years ago. And he just never escaped him. And he was always just like, stop. Anyways, I don't want to speak for him. Part of the lore in the Star Wars fandom, if you were an old Jedi Council fan. Love it there. Maddie, thanks for the moment. That's a great one to start us off.
I got a little honorary mention as well. I just want to get off.
Okay.
It's after Kylo Ren is having his little temper tantrum, and the two stormtroopers come walking around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They just look at the room, like all the sparks coming out, and then just decide to like slowly back up.
Yep. Our friend Ken Plume agrees with you. Ken says, gotta run, but I'll drop the hallway stormtrooper's reaction to Kylo's interrogation room outburst.
Yep, that's the one.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I agree. And for the movie to be, I think I'll say like brave enough to have a little bit of that's an over the top moment that's played subtly, but it's like, hey, it's a comedy beat, and I think it played well, and I think it's one of the things I love about the film. So, Maddie, thank you, buddy. Get your rest. Go to those shows.
Hey guys, appreciate it.
Good luck on the shows.
All right, rolling along here. Let's just keep doing this here. We got a face ready. I like faces. I like voices too. But let's get Adam Knight on here in the show. Check it in from Canada. Sorry, I caught you unawares. I usually shouldn't answer. Mr. Adam Knight, the outlaw Adam Knight, Canada's greatest pro wrestling export. How you doing, buddy?
Okay, well, first of all, as much as I appreciate you buttering me up like that, calling me Canada's greatest pro wrestling export is probably setting the bar a little low for anybody who's possibly seeing anybody who may or may not have been on TV and made some real money. Hello, everybody. Happy to be here on ForceCenter. Joseph, nice to finally see your face like this.
Yeah, you do.
Can't wait to see Dead Media. I'm really proud of the work you're doing with that. So
thank you.
No problem.
There you go.
So,
yeah.
10 years of The Force Awakens.
Yeah.
What the actual are we talking about here?
Yeah.
Absolutely. If we want to talk favorite memories, aside from the very obvious one, which is that I've got a 12-year-old girl upstairs right now who, back when she was 2, very much enjoyed having posters of Leia and Padme, but then most prominently Rey up on our wall. Those memories, more than anything else, keep a gray-haired old man going. But continuing the tradition from what you guys gave us with your favorite memories, I'm going to continue with the tradition of, old man appreciating a Han moment. We all got the gray in our beard, boys, is what it is. Han's waiting after the rebellion, after the resistance, has come to save everybody after the incident at Maz Kanata's castle. And he's there. And there's the transport, and there's all the troops. And he's got that look of anticipation, of fear, of love, and all that stuff. And out comes our princess, our general, and she smiles at him. And then there's, gosh darn, C-3PO once again to C-block the heck out of the situation. And the look in Han's eyes of just, why? That look right there is one of my favorite moments in possibly all of Harrison Ford's career, because it says so much with his eyes that we don't need in the dialogue. We all know exactly what's going on. We know exactly why it's happening. And the ongoing incapable C-3PO and able to understand just how badly he's screwing up this wonderful moment for all of us is fantastic. So a quiet moment, but a great one.
No.
Fantastic choice. The way it's shot too, to have us be completely, beautiful. The audience be completely surprised, to be in that sort of Han POV, classic 3PO. Like, this is exactly what you're programmed for.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Communication. Nope. Okay.
The exact right kind of expectation subversion too, right? You're ready for the big moment. They just, no.
You're also right to point out that, I don't think I haven't heard people talk about a lot that moment, that like pre-audition moment, that pre-going on stage, that behind the curtain energy that Han has.
Oh my god. Oh, yeah. What am I going to say? How do I remember this?
I'm kind of looking forward to this. I'm kind of dreading this. It has to be done. I'm not ready, but let's pretend I am. It's so great.
Yeah, I'm about to go through the curtain, and oh my god, what's my opening spot? Exactly. I hear you.
Little bit of like call to the principal's office, but also the woman he loves. Also, just it's everything. It's a great moment. So we always talk often of comedy from character, where no one in that scene is doing something that is intended to be funny by them, the characters. It's just their nature, who they are. Yeah, and the 3PO moment remains an amazing one. And a shout out to that. A comic one-shot that was released way back in the day explaining 3PO's red arm. I actually really love that story. It's one of my favorite comics from that era, and therefore one of my favorite Star Wars comics of droids and honor and sacrifice and the feels. The droids made you feel something in that issue, if anyone had a chance to read it. So love that there.
True enough. All right, fellas, that's all I've got. I know you got other people on here. Thanks for everything, and talk to you guys down the road.
Absolutely. Thanks, Thank you for hot tagging in there. Check out Adam Knight's YouTube channel too. He's got some great stuff going. Just kind of sitting down and talking about the feels from a perspective of an old gray hair man. It's great stuff there. So we got some comments. Anything popping out, Joseph? Then I'll get a call here. I think we got Ilka next, which is going to be fun. His first time calling in.
There's some good conversation happening about Rey's introduction, which we talked a lot about on our ranked episode, but good to see how much people love that one. And thank you, James Holmes, for this super chat, who agrees with Adam. The C-3PO Han Solo reunion we were all waiting for. The red arm is one of those things that, I think for people who are bothered by Force Awakens, it can be, one of the talking points of, they gave him red arm. It's okay. Could sell a different 3PO action figure. I don't think action figures were flying off the shelf because of the red arm. But the reason I bring it up is that's a great moment too of the joke that 3PO makes of, you weren't going to recognize me with the red arm. Like, it's important to 3PO, and he doesn't understand that it's probably not that important to Han, is a great joke, and I think more reason for it to be in the film than action figures.
Yeah, absolutely love that moment. Yeah, I don't recall a lot of people going, finally got a new 3PO with a red arm. maybe Lightspeed Bear with this super chat. Thank you for that. Luke Skywalker has vanished. I remember that blowing my mind at the time. Also, go straight at him. Don't let those legs scare you. T-70s. Yeah. The proclamation. Luke Skywalker has vanished. And I'm trying to take my brain back to that time in terms of predictions and what was going to happen. And you and I always joke about we were just waiting for third act Luke, and how we just knew there was a bevy of Star Wars action figures with third act Luke coming, and it didn't. But I still, I agree with that. Those are some strong words to start off Star Wars coming back.
Yeah, I mean, I love it when the crawl just grabs you with a short sentence. The dead speak. Luke Skywalker has vanished. It's so pulpy, and it also makes you ask the question why immediately, which I think is just good screenwriting.
We'll get to a call here in a second, but yeah, you mentioned earlier, the doctor saying, I love it when Rey is making dinner with this strange fluid. Yeah, and when Rey and Finn first meet, mentions the map Luke Skywalker the BB-8 has, and Rey says she thought Luke Skywalker was a myth, or thought he was a myth. Rey is almost smiling and glimmering eye. I absolutely love it. Yeah, and that's a moment I wrote about years ago. I just love it, and of course it ties into the Jedi steps later, and a girl from nowhere kind of becoming part of the myth show is dreamed of. But it's one of my favorite Daisy moments, and we talked on our episode Wednesday about just that short film of our introduction to Rey, and it's still some absolute Star Wars perfection.
Yeah, I also say that for me, I understand people feeling like some expectations or are clunky between the sequel trilogy, but for me, all of the sort of big picture ideas, the thematics, the arcs work really well. And this is one of those beautiful moments when you have something established in Force Awakens that very much carries through Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, that a myth is needed to inspire you. Rey is inspired in that moment, and that's what Luke comes to understand in Last Jedi of, hey, sometimes people do need a myth to inspire them, but also I need Rey to understand that I am a fallible human being who makes choices. And that's so you're going to be a myth to other people, but in reality, you also have to deal with the difficulty of being a real person making real choices. And to me, like, all of those great ideas are set up in that beautiful sparkle in her eyes. I thought he was a myth. He's real. Amazing.
Yeah. Absolutely. Nicholas adding to the conversation about the crawl. Purely safe film doesn't open with Luke Skywalker. It's not a safe choice. I agree. We got Elke here in a second. But Igor the Mad checking in from, he's traveling. I think he said he's in Japan right now, both in the theater, especially now. I always get chills from Poe looking Kylo in the mask saying, the Resistance will not be intimidated by you. That's one not celebrated enough. It's a great moment and reminder of who Poe is.
And very near Kylo's great, just little a-hole line. Oh, the Resistance best pilot. Because I left. Otherwise, I'd be the best pilot.
It's like he's picking up some snark from Palpatine's school of evil trading. Oh, I'm quite afraid. All right. Let's take a call from one of our longtime listeners. Love having him around. We had a chance to meet him over there at Star Wars Celebration London. Ilka checking in. Ilka, how are you?
Hey, guys. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Both of it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a miracle from across the world. Greetings from Finland in Northern Europe. It's
amazing.
midnight over here, so I'm staying up late to join you guys.
We're honored. Nice. We're honored. Stay safe out there, number one. But thanks for being a supporter and listener over all these years, Ilka. So what about Force Awakens is calling to you?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I'd like to say if I may.
Please. First
of all, like in general about the Force Awakens, it's probably the reason that I am even here right now, because it's my favorite Star Wars movie of them all, and it's really the reason that I became the fan that I am today. And I think I was 21 years old when it came out 10 years ago. And I think I was just old enough to really grasp the nostalgia aspect of it. Like, the feeling that Star Wars is back, the thing from my childhood, it's now back. And, all the, like the reverence that they treat the legacy characters and, all the familiar visuals and, Chewie were home and all of that. It really, hit me. But I was also the perfect age for it to really become like my Star Wars. Like it was, it felt like this is the Star Wars for my generation of fans. This is the thing that I can really, sink my teeth into. I can, go on this adventure with this new group of people, and this is like my thing now. So that was a really, really, really special time for me. And I think I went to see the movie in theaters like 9 times. And when I say that to people, they look at me a bit weird, for some reason. But that's what it was. And also at that time, I really discovered, the larger fandom and the global fandom, because we don't really have that stuff here in Finland. Like, obviously, Star Wars is big. People go see it, and it's popular. But the fandom culture doesn't really, exist here like it does in the States or even in the UK. Nobody does a podcast or anything crazy like that.
Well, now's your chance. Start the Finland ForceCenter. We should.
Yeah, the first Finnish
franchise
podcast. Maybe.
Yeah, FinForce. Yes,
FinForce.
But yeah, around that time, I also discovered ForceCenter and you guys, and really, I think what you guys have created and the community really kind of became like the home base for me as a fan. And I've been listening ever since, almost 10 years. It's crazy.
Wow,
it's great.
Great.
But yeah, Force Awakens is really a meaningful thing for me. So it's a perfect time for me to hop on this show.
Who did you when you saw it as a 21-year-old? Who did you relate to? Who did you connect to the most? Did you see yourself in the younger cast? Who did you kind of connect with in the film?
Ray, definitely. And also, excuse me, bear with me. I'm happy having this cough for many weeks. but yeah, like Daisy Ridley and John Boyega, they are pretty much my age. So I think I really, connected to those two. And Ray is definitely like my favorite character in the whole saga. So she was the one, like new hero, the hero that I could, follow and go on this journey with. So
awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
I love to hear that. You can, just on the surface, you can draw some parallels from you stepping into the larger myth we were just talking about, and Ray and Finn stepping into that larger myth. That's amazing. That's great. Anyway,
definitely.
Yeah, you were going to say?
Yeah, but the other thing that I'd like to bring up now that I can, like a favorite moment, it's not a moment, so I'm not answering the question, but I just really want to bring up the music by John Williams. It's probably my favorite thing in the film. It's just incredible what he did. Like a man so deep into his career in his 80s, creating this symphony of such vigor. Like wow, I'm using such big words in English now. But, so full of life.
Half the country wouldn't know that word here either. So.
But yeah, it's an incredible score, and it's like the perfect mix, like the film itself. It's a perfect mix of the old hits and a lot of new stuff.
Yeah, indeed.
So it's you have the Force theme gets a lot of play, obviously, in the film. Han and Leia's theme is really prominently featured, and the Rebel fanfare is everywhere. But then people don't necessarily realize how much new music he wrote for this film.
Yeah.
Like Rey has probably like 4 different melodies in her theme, actually. Kylo Ren has 2. It's the ba 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 ba, but then there's also the ba 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 da da da.
It's good. It's so good. It's so good. And I think some of the we're having 8984M is mentioning how much people it says I remember when it first came out and folks were like the soundtrack wasn't memorable. LOL.
Yeah.
I think part of it, Ray's theme was very distinct. I think some of the new stuff he wrote, like what he wrote for Kylo Ren and what he wrote the March of the Resistance, it was so seamlessly connected to everything he had written before, while also being entirely new, that I think some people didn't even quite track like how much like this is brand new
Mhm.
until people have spent more time with it.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I agree with that.
Exactly.
Yeah, Gaz adding to that music conversation here. Rewatch Force Awakens this week. Force Center inspired. Paid attention to the score. The themes really stand out and feel as though all of John Williams' experience built to this. Jedi Step still gives me the chills. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
that's so great. It's like
Mhm.
the center piece of the score almost, even though it's at the
Yeah.
end.
Yep, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for sharing not just your favorite moment, but your journey as a Star Wars fan.
Mhm.
Thank you, guys.
I think it's a great perspective, and thanks for listening all these years, my Finnish friend.
And I will keep listening.
Excellent.
Thank you.
And we'll be
Thank
listening
you,
to
Oka.
the podcast.
Yeah,
All
Finn
right.
Force.
I'm
Yeah.
listening to this.
Yeah. We gotta franchise it out. We gotta
Yeah.
franchise it out for a franchisee fee. You could become Force Center in your country.
It'd be funny if
Sorry.
we pretended that podcasts weren't available everywhere and like this is the only way you can hear Force Center is the
It's just
Finnish
the
version.
only way. Love that. G. Davis 007. I love this one here. One of the movie quotes I use almost daily is Post saying, "We're going to do this." Yes, I think that should be used more daily.
Yes.
I need to hear that. I need to hear that today. We are going to do this. We're going to get through this. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. What do we got? Oh, Genie Ferdini highlights, Star Wars Music Minute. They really break down the score and sound. Yeah, absolutely. Check that out of there. All right, next call up here is our buddy Brennan Moore. Check it in there. Brennan, how are you doing, buddy?
Hello, doing good. Joseph, good to see you.
Good to see you, Brennan.
I tell you, I cannot wait for Celebration LA where we can all meet up. That'll be nice.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
You'll just have to find me at a local Mexican restaurant where I'll be most of the weekend.
Well, I figured, the last time we hung out, we watched the Fat Squirrels.
That's right, at the zoo. At the zoo.
Yeah.
The zoo.
Yeah. And so I mentioned it on the Blathering yesterday about
Mhm.
the introduction of Rey, and particularly the sliding down that hill on her little toboggan.
Yeah.
And it was such a brilliant idea to have almost no sound, so that John Williams' score could really do the talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the first, 3-4 minutes of Rey, she doesn't say a single word, but we know everything we need to know about her.
Mm-hmm. No, it
Beautiful
is.
choice.
It's really great filmmaking. I love the idea of really thinking about cinema. It's the art that combines picture and sound, and really playing with that. Of it's not. It doesn't need to be constant dialogue. That's such a great example of that.
Yeah, and it's just great to watch. They're doing the sliding down the hill.
Yeah.
Going to get the portions from Uncard's hut, and then going back to her little house and just doing what she does.
her little.
And the scratches on the wall tell you so much that how much of this is a routine.
It tells you everything you need to know without a word of dialogue.
Yeah, because I really appreciate those scratches because it lets you know that this is monotonous and she's waiting for something. Otherwise, I think a lot of people who watch that go, "This seems like a pretty good life. I'd like to get away from it all and live in an AT-AT belly."
Of course,
I love those.
I don't know what a lot of us were thinking back then when we said, "Oh, the score's not memorable."
I just don't think, especially as the pundit world exploded back then, it's more about gut reactions, fast reactions, and there's not a lot of thought in it. And I think as someone who was like, I don't know if I picked out any scores, I wasn't listening. I wasn't listening. I just was blabbing my mouth. So I'm glad that we have a chance to listen to it. And that sequence, you're absolutely right, Brennan. I think it connects to a lot of us in a lot of ways. But one of the strengths of it is the time it takes to introduce us to Rey.
And also the moment that she slid down the hill with that music.
Yeah.
Is the moment I said, I think they did it. I think they did it.
Nice.
Yeah. No, I think that I'm not always great at picking out score moments, but that one just grabbed me because I think, like you're saying, there's no other sound. It is just the image of her sliding and that music really, really kicking in. I think it's so powerful.
Yeah, indeed. Great moment. Great. Thanks, you, Brennan. Appreciate you, buddy.
Good to see you guys.
Good to see you. Brennan checking in. Check out his show, The Page Turners They Were Not, if you want more of Brennan Star Wars there. Brady's saying the editing in the entire sequence was Good. There you go. Ochi fan Eli saying Force Awakens is still my favorite Star Wars score. So there you go. Other stuff. So Jeannie from Teeny said that as well. Ray's theme is one of my faves. It's totally new and distinct, but still has the Star Wars flavor. Totally agree.
I wanted to go back up here when Ilka was telling us about his entry to this larger world of Star Wars fandom. April Fresh said, same. Fave moment was seeing a friend's name in the credits. She worked on post-production. If she hadn't worked on it, I would have never watched the first 6. I blame her for my fave obsession. LOL.
Oh, wow.
I didn't grow up watching anything Star Wars, just started 5 years ago, and it's legit my fave.
Love
this
that.
is always, just for me, one of the best parts of doing this this ForceCenter show over the last 10 years is to get to hear all of the different perspectives and just constantly remember anybody can come into this at any time, and who knows what'll bring them in.
It's a powerful reminder and drives a lot of what we do here, especially 10 years on, right? We joke about some arguments we have in real life or some of us, having to work through some strong, raw emotions about things. It is that thing. And that's why I bristle at in my day, Star Wars was called Star Wars, because that you're just discounting so many other people's experiences with Star Wars. And that's just not what I think we're here for. So I love hearing that, April, because even with Ilka say he's 21 for Force Awakens, that's fascinating because we have Adam. My daughter was 2, and Ray. There's all those kind of the Force Awakens kids are now this age, but there's adults too, and I think you and I both have people in our lives who are like, I got caught up in that Star Wars thing, and I loved it. It was great. I never really spent time with it, and Force Awakens is the genesis of so many of those stories.
Yeah, very much agree.
All right, rolling along here. We got Eli, we got Jedi James, we got Ethan. Let's take Eli here. Let's see. I always love the background. It's a guessing game of what Eli's going to have here. So here he goes. Eli, you're in the Falcon? Perfect. You're in the Falcon. You might be.
I was muted. It's because I always like to do for my own show, what we're talking about, something related to what we're talking about, and I want to talk about a moment with the Falcon. No, I was as the perfect George Lucas age for this movie. I was recently 12 years old when this movie came out. First Star Wars film in the theaters that I saw. Force Awakens will always have a special place in my heart because of that. Yeah. When I was thinking about this, when I saw the topic, the YouTube thumbnail earlier this week, I was thinking about what I was going to talk about, and immediately this moment came into my mind. And it's not the moment I expected to come into my mind, especially because we'd already kind of seen it in the trailers. But they're all standing in the Falcon. It's Han. Chewie is injured. He's lying there on the couch over there, whatever that is. It's Han, it's Rey, it's Finn, and they're asking, and Han's inquiring about the map. They found BB-8's also there. Got that. BB-8's also there with the map. I was just actually watching this right before the stream. Get it fresh in my mind. Illuminates the map, and he's talking about Han speculating about where Luke went. Some say he went looking for the first Jedi temple, all that kind of stuff. I used to all think it was all a bunch of mumbo jumbo. I used to think I used to believe it, of Force, the good, the bad. But then I realized it's true. Turns to the camera, all of it, and it's that moment I feel like where the movie really I was enjoying it. Don't get me wrong, but that's the moment where the film clicked for me. That's the moment where it all came together. Is Han of all people saying, no, this myth that you've believed in, that you've heard whispers about, that's real. You're not crazy for believing in it. It's all real. And the look in specifically John and Daisy's eyes, them just staring at him, just pure movie magic right there.
Went on at length about it in our favorite moments, but I've been thinking about it this week, and I think part of it is that joy in the sense of wonder, in the sense of magic, but there's also the stakes of Han's life has been affected by this. His path to believing in it includes having his blaster pulled out of his hands and being tortured, right? Like it isn't just like, yeah, my wife and my uncle and my kid, they can move. And he says, I'm paraphrasing, but like, one force holding the galaxy together, good and bad. Like it is such a all encompassing. It isn't just, it's true, kids. These card tricks are more than just tricks. It's magic. It is such a spiritual, from the good, the bad to the other. Our galaxy is larger than you know.
It's the weight of the entire galaxy. Like it's this whole expansive thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of the first moment of that film for me, of the trilogy in general, of the passing of the torch.
Mm-hmm.
Of I had this thing, and now you have it too. Where Luke kind of actually did it with Leia at the end of Jedi, of course, before Strong in My Family, and that whole speech. But this is the generational sort of, okay, I experienced the one that this galaxy has to offer. You've both lived pretty sequestered lives. One, with First Order propaganda, and one just on this desert planet. Now you get to experience the magic.
Yeah. I also just love everything you're saying, Eli. I agree with, but I love the image of a 12-year-old Eli with his hands, arms crossed in a theater, going, "Not yet, not yet." All right, okay, I'm in. Okay, I'm in.
I remember my friends and I were all made like a thing before the theater, before we went to the theater, like to cheer every time a legacy character came on screen, and we were like. I remember when the Falcon first took flight, we were like, should we cheer? This is the character. I'm not sure this counts. And then the first thing, of course, was when Han and Chewie were home, came in. But that was the moment where I was like, okay, this is not just Star Wars because X, Y, and Z characters are here, or the ship, or the planet, or whatever it might be, the droids. This is Star Wars because of the feeling. This is Star Wars because of the emotions that are being transmitted.
Absolutely. Emotional canon indeed. Eli, thank you so much for flying into the Falcon and sharing all that stuff today.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Eli, check it in there. Yeah, absolutely. Everything about it. It's making me think of the spot, the ad, the first thing we all see, which we have talked about before. And I think someone, Brent had a thing before the show started to comment. Can my favorite moment be the lead up to the release, the trailers? I don't think a piece of promotions got me more excited than the trailer 2 for Force Awakens. Luke voiceover, the music, the magic. Yeah, I think it's fair to put it in there. We're talking about the movie indeed, but it's about the era, and it's hard to escape just the absolute joy. I actually ran into last night Hal Rudnick, the old Screen Junkies pal of mine, and we were reminiscing about when that trailer came out from Monday Night Football. We were on duty late that night in the break room, and I was telling him how I have video of the trailer on the TV screen, and when it goes black, I just see reflections of Hal and I just how that's part of my memory too. That's part of why I love Force Awakens. It's just those kind of times too. So absolutely.
I want to grab this from Nicholas Arcus. A funny take on the conversation we've been having. Old Han, kid, I've flown from one end of the galaxy to the other, seen a lot of strange stuff. Much of it convincing me that there's an all-powerful force.
Love that, indeed. Love that. Jocelyn says the second teaser show is still my favorite trailer of all time. Yeah. There's so many great trailers, but I think that works for me.
And Hodaga says the garbage one will do, and the camera pans to the Falcon. First time seeing that. I was a kid in the 1970s. Getting so emotional. The power of a spaceship. Kids. Yeah, man. That one is an absolutely phenomenal reintroduction. And the film does a great job with all of those moments of reintroducing or awakening the old things, the legacy things.
Awakening, you say?
Awakening? It is.
Gas not him says Han shooting Chewie's bowcaster. Love it is great. Yeah, it's great. And I know there was definitely I remember the time saying, is this the first time he shot the bowcaster? Maybe. Chewie doesn't strike me as someone that shares easily or lets you win in a game. So yeah, I could see that being the first time.
Yeah, and he could have souped it up. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Let's take a call here from our pal Jedi James calling in. Again, we love having him on the show. Jedi James, thanks for calling in. What is your moment? How are you?
How am I? I am still recovering from 10 years ago when somebody once told me, apparently we're getting a new Star Wars movie. A new Star Wars movie?
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well,
All of it.
yeah. Sorry, you cut out for a second there,
This
James.
force
But
will that this galaxy continues.
yes, it does. It does.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you just cut out for a little bit there, but you had too much passion and joy, and the internet needed to clamp it down. What's your favorite moment?
Yes, I'm excited. Favorite moment? Well, you all already touched on wonderfully in that ranked episode some of my favorite moments. The lightsaber going to Rey, the interrogation scene where Rey gets her first victory, the Han moment in the Falcon, all those great things. So I want to go with two that haven't been talked about yet that I just love to death. The first one is more for the visual of it all, but that moment on Takodana when Kylo Ren is hunting down Rey, and there's that moment where you don't see him, you just distantly hear his lightsaber static in the background, just like, and you don't know where it's come from. Rey just is looking all around, just like not sure where this as she believes right now, otherworld being from beyond. Not so much. She's very much a troubled kid in a mask, as we know. But she's just like, where's he coming from? And he goes, shoo, shoo. And then he just pops out and he just deflects her blasters like crazy and then freezes her, which pains me every time I see it. And he's just like, the girl I've heard so much about, the droid. Where is it? And just the lightsaber going inches from Rey's face, it sends chills up my spine every time. That's a mini horror moment in Star Wars, in my opinion. So that's one moment. I'll pause there for a second.
No, I think it's a great moment. I don't think it's a sequence celebrated enough or discussed enough. And I remember back in the day, the trailers. I was like, I don't know, that lightsaber is too close to your eyes. It doesn't look real enough. Like I was an idiot. But I love what you're describing it as, a little horror film. And great journey for them from that point on.
Yeah, I totally agree with the horror film, including the effect of her being sort of so rigidly frozen in place is a very horror movie effect. And I love the choices for filmmaking to choose whose perspective you're going to feel, even if it literally isn't a point of view shot. And that is that whole thing is edited to make us feel what Rey is feeling. Like, we have some sense of who Kylo might be. But yes, that is totally edited to be from her perspective, a monster in a mask, an unknowable, unstoppable presence.
Yeah, indeed. Great moment. Great moment. And I still rue the day that Takodana was Mas's castle was destroyed. I'd like to see more content there, more stories taking place there. But James, that's one. You got another?
My second one is on Takodana too, Ken.
Perfect.
Takodana, it's amazing. Yes, I'm sad it's destroyed. My other moment is more of an emotional one. It's the moment where Finn just confesses to Rey what his journey basically has been just far. Just like, I'm not resistance. I'm not a hero. I'm a stormtrooper. And just, I feel defeat in his voice every time he admits that. Like, I know you want me to be something big. I just can't find it in my heart to say I am, because I'm not. And I thought I knew who I was supposed to be, and my eyes were lifted finally to what it was, and now I'm just terrified for myself and this whole galaxy. I don't know what we can possibly do, and I just kept running. But you looked at me like no one ever did. I was ashamed, but I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with that. And just seeing that compared to where he ends up in the future, and hey, I sure hope we get more Finn with the lightsaber at some point, but I certainly love where he ended up in the films thus far. And but going back to this moment where he just feels at his lowest and confesses to his first true friend just what he feels he is versus what we know he becomes. It hits me every time the way John Boyega says it. It's just so good. And then even just still Daisy Ridley, Rey hearing it and just not judging him, just like, don't go. Because she understands. She understands the family I'll never know. She understands a rough life, and that's why they have such a good friendship. I love that moment so much.
Yeah, I'm glad you highlighted that, and as Brady says in chat, more Finn moments indeed. And we always try to acknowledge and talk about the bigger picture around Finn, and a lot of people's desires for the character, a lot of people what they still would like to see, and John Boyega himself and his experience, which he's been so open and honest about. But I always want to highlight what is actually there for both the character throughout the three films, but also what Boyega did bring to it, and that's one of the finer moments. And it's early and it's strong, and why the theme of connection is around him is important. You look at that moment where the fear winning over the connection just discovered. I think you're right to point that out.
Yeah, no, I love the connection and everything that builds from it, and also his really understandable but cynical belief of like the First Order can't be beaten. I know, and you guys don't know yet. Also, really adds to his journey of like, no, we can do this, and not being willing to turn around until the job is done in the Rise of Skywalker.
And I'm thankful that he leaves just long enough for us to really spend some time with Sidon Athano and Quiggold, right? Like those are two of my favorite Star Wars background weirdos.
I don't know what it is, but so many times I try to say what the one line Sidon Athano says. I always just sometimes just say to myself, "Iate," or whatever.
It's a good one. It's a good one. And I always hear the Charlie Brown music in that shot where he's walking away. Sadly.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome. Jedi James, thank you for those 2 moments. Those were wonderful. Appreciate you, my friend.
Thanks for letting me come on. Here's to getting another Star Wars movie soon. It's coming back.
We're almost there. There we go. All right. We got Ethan. We got Brady. Now we got a we got a paid attempt to correct our name. You always so I always say it like this. And you all guys always butcher my name. And then pronounce like battle droids say Roger. Roger. Roger.
Raja.
I Roger.
I Raja.
I Roger.
I Raja.
I Roger. Roger.
I Raja.
There you go. Clip that out for your phone. No one uses ringtones anymore, but you said that. There you go. Eli says, Ithano and Quiggold, they're just vibing. They're just hanging out. And thank you all for the super chats. We do have an important question. You want to answer this one now here? Ken Plume's probably have some lunch. He wants an answer. Ken Plume says, dead media figure you would place in your cantina. Are you releasing action figures for your movie?
If I can, when and if I can, that would be my dream come true. Not many folks have seen the film, so I don't know how powerful my answer is. There's an uncle character who's got a kind of a 90s swingers shirt. I would want to put in a beard. I think he would fit nicely. I love in the cantina that there are a couple of just like older middle-aged Earth dudes who aren't doing well.
Yes.
I think that character from my movie Dead Media would fit well in the cantina.
Earth dudes ain't having it easy is
yeah. Earth.
I love that. And as someone who in the early 2000s went to Tilly's to get a ton of those swingers inspired retro bowling tees, I can't wait for this character to pop up. There you go. I hadja. There you go. We're getting there. There you go.
I hadja.
All right. We got the calls rolling here. We're here for a few more minutes. Appreciate you all hanging out with us on our Friday call-in show. ForceCenter now or ForceCenter then. Ethan's calling in. Ethan, how you doing? You got some good moody shadows on you. You look like a Beatles album cover from '65. It's great.
Taking a little inspiration from Mr. Scrimshaw over there.
Love it, man. What are some of your moments, my friend?
The one that's coming to mind is, and I haven't listened to your guys' ranked episode yet, so I don't know if you've talked about it at all, but that long shot of Poe in the X-Wing on Takodana, like just, dogfighting, taking out like everything.
Yeah.
I went and saw Force Awakens 7 times in the theaters, and I was looking. I looked forward to that moment every time.
Yeah,
I just thought it was the coolest. And you guys kind of mentioned it before. The we're gonna do this, and everything that ensues afterwards. Them and the tie. Just that whole sequence is really great too. That sequence is probably the moment that I had when I was like, okay, yes, we're in.
The escape moment,
for me. The escape moment. Like, I love the intro to Rey. I love like all of that, but like some good like starfighter action. I was like, okay, yes, here we are.
Yeah. action, adventure, fist pumping,
Excitement.
excitement, and also that flowing from the righteousness of Poe, which I extra appreciate those moments right now, when lots of things are trying to grind you down. That attitude of "we'll do it," and that concise rejection of the machinery of fascism. Of I ain't calling you that.
Well, I ain't calling you that. Yeah, exactly.
That makes all the action adventure and that's one hell of a pilot. It's cool. It's cool, science fiction, space fantasy, action adventure. But I think so much of it is given this extra power that you're kind of like F yeah to the moral philosophical attitude behind it all.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, you're kind of right there. Oh, go ahead, Ken.
No, I think that escape scene is just such fun Star Wars action, and it was perfectly placed. Not that they're, funny. This comes up a lot, and I've mentioned it too, of just the opening sequence in the village. Wasn't sure how it looked and felt, and there's just moments, the exchange between Poe and Kylo, and some of the lines Max von Sydow had made me kind of calm down and go, okay. But I think that escape sequence was like, oh yeah, this is Star Wars in a modern era, which also ties to the X-wing shot too. We did talk about it a little bit, I think, on Wednesday's show, but like. Yeah, even the shots from the trailer of just like, Star Wars in a modern filmmaking world, like this is what I'd want the X-wings to look like, dogfighting. Some of those shots and everything from the wings and everything. I think you're right to highlight that.
Yeah, and then one last thing I'll bring up, and then we'll move on to whoever else is next. But you guys were talking about the promotion and everything to Force Awakens, and that kind of being a part of all of it too. I would be remiss if I didn't talk a little bit about Matt the Radar Technician.
Yes,
that's one of my favorite things ever, and I out of SNL when it comes to like Star Wars stuff on SNL, which there's really not all that much when you really think about it, but that's definitely top tier. Just everything about that, and I kind of lump all of that stuff in with Force Awakens, just because I don't know. It just, you guys have talked about it. Just the experience of being a fan at that time was something really special, and it just I was like 8 when Phantom Menace came out, so like I saw that from like a kid perspective,
right,
and like was really excited for that. But like Force Awakens, I was like 24-ish. I can't, and so and had been married for 2 years. We went to the theater dressed as Han and Leia.
Nice.
And like just from that perspective, just seeing all the excitement around it, being really able to understand, okay, it's been 10 years since we had a Star Wars, and all of that, just it was such a special time, and I have a lot of fond memories of it.
Absolutely. No, Ethan, love sharing it. And as far as Matt the Radar Tech, love seeing anytime you're at a convention and someone's dressed up as Matt the Radar Tech, but it is part of the experience and part of the lore. And perfectly timed with Bobby Moynihan and Taron Killam and Mikey Day being Star Wars fans. I know famously they have that great commercial parody of adults with Star Wars toys, and they're Bobby's toys. Like that was amazing, and I think it just helped add to the hype of not just Star Wars is everywhere because BB-8's on oranges, but the joy of Star Wars was everywhere, and that's what I love about that era too.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the fact that it was a sketch that is based on people enjoying and grappling with the character, and the idea of this is a Vader, but he's insecure, and that's to me like the entire comedic premise. It isn't just it's slapped on merchandising everywhere, which is fine. It is, there obviously there was, plenty of negativity, but in general, those new characters were so well received and so entered into the culture. And I think that's such a great example of how quickly the new generation of characters entered into the culture.
Indeed. Great stuff, Ethan. Appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah. Have a great rest of your day, guys.
We will. We will try. I can't guarantee anything. We will try.
I want to share this from my old pal John Maddening, pal of mine from Minnesota. He says, "I think that the best acting in Star Wars comes in short lines. DJ's maybe is my favorite in the saga."
You
And
know,
that's
I
a big
love
one
that
for you,
too.
Ken. Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
So in Force Awakens, Han's Chewie, we're home, was simply fantastic. Yeah, it does say so much in a very short span of time. Also want to share this from Mr. John Maddening. That said, when I went for a second time and took my niece and nephew, the moment where the Skywalker saber zooms past Kylo Ren into Rey's outstretched hand, shocking even her, the look on my 11-year-old niece's face was one of my favorite moments in my life of watching Star Wars in general. That is fantastic. I love hearing the stories, real time, really experienced, of what a difference Rey made.
So John didn't turn his knees and go like, this should have been Luke's moment. Okay. this is BS. This should be Luke's moment.
Should have flown to Dash Rendar's hand. It's the only way it should have been.
The Outrider should have been used here, right here.
Should have gone to Kyle Katarn, damn it.
IG-88's in the Death Star, right? Yeah. No, I love that. That's a great. I love the maybe moment. We've talked about a lot here, but I think John is so right. Those little tiny beats, but I love stories like that. And that truly is why we continue to be here, about everyone's experiences and what I say a lot. I just said it the other night at a comedy show. I ran into someone and they were talking Star Wars. They'd watched me years ago. They hadn't really watched me since. And I was trying to explain what we do here. And it's like, I don't care what you think about Rise of Skywalker. I will not let you take it away from the 5-year-old watching it. I cannot. I refuse, because we are part of the generation that tried that in 99, and it's BS. So John, appreciate that story. All right. We got an audio call coming in here from Brady. Check it in here. Brady, how you doing?
Hello. 10 years, man. Jesus.
10 years, man.
I was in high school. Now I'm graduated. God.
It took you 10 years to graduate high school, Brady? Oh, that's good.
I know. It was a really bad step. No.
We're going to do this in 10 years.
Yeah, what really hit the nail, like when I realized it's been 10 years, is I was watching a rescreening of The Force Awakens recently, and when all the new sequel characters, how like back in 2015 we cheered for the old, the legacy characters, Han Solo, Leia coming back. This audience, they did all the big cheers for the new characters, and that just what is going on? It's not 2015 anymore; it's 25.
Yeah, that's great.
This is so great. We've talked, often, obviously, about, what will happen in 5-10 years when the people who grew up with the sequel trilogy overwhelm the conversation in a good way. In this chat of, hearing people who discovered it when they were quite young, hearing people who discovered it when they were 21, people who discovered it, Force Awakens was their entry point when they were older than 21, maybe. It's getting me real excited for when the people who have always liked these films and came up with them. Overwhelmed the conversation.
Basically.
Yeah.
Well, Brady, now that you've graduated high school, what is your favorite Force Awakens moment?
Well, I have two moments. One of them ties to those. What I just mentioned is the first one is the character introductions. I think they just nailed them when you first meet. When Finn takes off his mask, you know what his vibe is. And just when Rey, you're like, oh yeah, I'm vibing with this. This is not really like a deep thing. This is just some like surface level reaction. And I think it when the cheer moments happen with the legacy characters, they got it.
Yeah. Love it. Love what you're saying. Love all the introductions. Love the beats. You have to be aware of it when you're putting together this film. You don't want to have the film pause for applause, but you know that this could be a part of the experience, and I think they nail each introduction or reintroduction, including that one at the end on that island with that guy in the beard.
Pretty good.
Thanks, Brady. Anything else there? Yeah.
And my second one is, I think what you call the cheek touch that saved the galaxy, and I think that. That moment, I think when the film first came out, it was just didn't have as much meaning, and I think that's the importance of like sequels and character arcs. it gets a whole new meaning in Rise of Skywalker when he re-experiences that moment. And going back to the Force Awakens, that moment hurts me. It hurts me as much as Han is experiencing. Maybe not as much, but it hurts in the heart.
It does hurt in the heart. Yeah, an emotional lightsaber every time.
Yes.
How did you feel about it when you first saw it? Were you affected by it?
Honestly, I think I've already heard the stories about Harrison Ford wanting his character to be to die in Return of the Jedi. So I was kind of like, well, if they got him back for the Force Awakens, he's probably not going to last long. And so I was kind of expecting it. So it hurt as much as like, oh wait, this is this moment for Kylo Ren. And then when it finally hit was in Rise of Skywalker when he gets that memory, and I was a sobbing mess. I was crying when Harrison Ford came back. I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Same.
Powerful
indeed. Brady, those are great moments there, and this is why we celebrate it 10 years on and say, what are your favorite moments now? Sometimes time will add some moments that didn't affect you. So I appreciate that. And of course, we kid about high school, but you're doing good, and you're about to finish your college education, and you're doing good things. So congratulations on all your work.
And Ken, I hope whatever's happening, I hope everything turns out well.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I hope so too.
I'm sorry.
Ken's gonna do this eventually when he's ready.
I'm gonna do this. Thank you, Brady. Appreciate you. And Brady, you're off the hook. You don't have to show up, but I do have to do some advertising. On December 19th, Brady has not missed a show this year for these big shows, and I just love him to death. But December 19th in Burbank at Flappers, my Hot Burbank Nights Holiday Show edition. I'll be headlining, but supported by so many wonderful people: Jason Kay, Grace Cosmeyer, Carter Parton Rogers. It's just a wonderful thing. And Joseph Scribshaw on the show, returning to it, and maybe some surprises. I'm really excited for this one there. So,
can you put that first one back up, Ken? The first image. This is a very well designed card. I like it. I like it. It looks like you have named your belly the Yoo-Hoo room. Yes. I think is an extra nice touch.
Yes. I didn't have any. That's a photo from 2018, and I didn't have a Christmas photo. So I sent Brian Ward. That's me promoting the afternoons with Josh and Ken. It's the logo on the shirt. And I was like, could you Brian Ward this up? Can you just do something? Because I don't want to go buy a Christmas hat. So yeah, gonna be a lot of fun. But Brady, thank you as always, my friend. Okay.
Yeah, and if you're local, show for the show. These guys are funny. All right.
Thank you, Brady. Thank you, Brady. Hope to see you there. All right. Almost done here. Thank you to our callers. We got a couple comments. Craig Corns early in the show said the same thing about the final moments of Han in Force Awakens. It says my wife and I have a favorite moment. It's the touch with Han and Kylo. So powerful. Agree with that. JMB, Vulcan Nerd, saying, I don't know if I can nail down a single scene, but some favorites are her when she's alone in the desert eating, talking about Rey, or sitting or walking with BB-8. No dialogue or chatting, just silence and music. Yeah, again, we just get to spend, it's not about quality time versus the other characters, but just quiet time. Like we talked about earlier with Brennan. It's just, you get to really focus on Rey in those moments.
Yeah, and it's important. There's a lot going on in Force Awakens and a lot of characters, and we need that bond with her early on. So well done.
There we go.
Go for it. I know you're gonna do the same thing.
Okay, our final super chat of the day. Quality beard, Cat. Thank you.
No,
thank you for Orlando.
Yeah, thank you for the super chat. I'm not making any value judgment, but I think it's more than a $5 beard.
It's more than
I'm not.
Well, it's going to cost me to trim. I had to fix it up. Yeah, when you grow your beard, Joseph, and you have a quality Jedi beard too that I was always a fan of. You ever do like a mess up trim where you're like, God damn it, I screwed this up. So I got to go fix some things under here at a professional.
Yep. No, it's one of the reasons that I do not remain bearded, because then I do that dance. Like, I need to trim it a little bit. Ooh, that side's a little bit shorter. Now this side, it's pretty much just like Homer Simpson, Mr. Bean mishap in the bathroom. Haja says, I was a sign language interpreter for Celebration in London 2016. Best gig ever. In seeing so many Rey cosplays was wonderful to see.
That's
is
amazing.
fantastic. Yeah, right away, the power of Ray.
Indeed. There we go. All right, that's it. Thank you to everyone who called in, because if you called in, that means you support us on Patreon, and that truly means a lot to us right now. If you want to support, patreon.com/ForceCenter is the place to do it. From there, you get into the Discord. I think the biggest draw of our Patreon page is to hang out with Force Center friends there in that community. So we really appreciate you all calling in today.
Absolutely. The support is very appreciated and very needed. And with that, I want to do another plug here, Ken. It is Bandcamp Friday, where the artists get full proceeds for albums. And both Ken and I have albums on Bandcamp. The coffers for me doing pretty much anything to promote my film and enter film festivals are very, very dry. So any album purchases would also help me to keep working on getting Dead Media out into the world. So I'm going to put the link to my Bandcamp in the chat, and I encourage Ken for you to drop your link as well.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, you're absolutely right. In this day and age, independent artists, of which we are, the middle class of being an artist is gone, and that might not mean a lot to some folks, but I think you'll start feeling the effects. And looking at the news today with another big giant merger on the horizon, this kind of stuff is needed. So I'm glad you reminded me, because it is Bandcamp Friday. But you can check that out. My album, comedy album, In My Day, recorded live alongside Joseph in London during Star Wars celebrations there. Also have the band I kind of work with, Brian Taylor and Sean Arnold. Our little musical experiment rolls on. We released a new song this week as well. That's available on Bandcamp at themoonagers.bandcamp.com. So appreciate that. And for those that showed up late, it's okay. The episode will be available on demand. So there you go. That's it. Monday, 12 noon here in the Pacific time zone. We'll be live. Me, Joseph, Jennifer Landa, Alex, and Molly Damon, Star Wars Explained. We're going to be co-celebrating 10 years of being around this space, but also 10 years of rooting for Star Wars even more. That's it for me. Final words from you, and we'll get the heck out of here.
Yeah, a couple other people have come in late asking if we've talked about the news that the 1977 version of Star Wars will be re-released in 2027. We touched on it briefly at the top of this episode, but Ken and I will be talking about it a bunch on our news episode that we'll record this coming Monday as well. So we are looking forward to that, as well as the big 10-year celebration. If you're interested in finding any of my stuff, you can follow me on social media at Joseph Scrimshaw everywhere. Check out my website, josephscrimshaw.com. That's it for me, Ken.
That's it for you. That's it for me. Follow me at Ken Knapsack. Don't forget Jennifer Landa. Follow her on all her social media as well, as she'll be back Monday with us there. That is it. We'll see you next time here on Force.